This is Lisa Steinberg from Starry Constellation Magazine. I am joined today by Carson MacCormac of the show My Life with the Walter Boys. Thank you so much for joining me.
Yeah, thanks for having me on.
You're welcome. Happy season two to streaming day.
Thank you. Yeah, we're filming this the day of the show coming out. It's exciting.
It's as they say in like showbiz, it's finally the
Oh yeah.
day. Your character is Zach, and he's kind of new to the Walter Boy sphere of things. And I wanted to ask, what kind of breakdown did you receive about him, and a little bit of information, maybe when you initially got the sides, or maybe when you initially sort of got a more succinct breakdown.
Yeah, confident. Zach from the gate was extremely confident. And I think the one note that I was given when I first received the audition for it was that he's not shy at all about going after what he wants. Which was fun to play with because normally me in my everyday life, I'm the total opposite of the spectrum. I'm not that forward at all. So it was fun to play around with.
Well, subsequently, then, when you received the scripts for the series and you kind of started reading along and fleshing things out, is there anything that kind of stood out to you as far as maybe, his arc or development, or maybe even the tone of the season that kind of like either shook you or
Mhm.
maybe kind
Oh,
of like
absolutely.
really
Yeah.
were surprised by?
Totally. Yeah. I was shocked that a character like Zach was honestly brought into such a comfortable world that was created. He's a bit of a he's a bit of a shock to the system, I think, for a lot of the characters. And that's kind of the fun in playing him, but he felt immediately like he was an outlier to the empathy and the internal turmoil that all the other characters are kind of going through. He's very, very specific in what he's doing and not shy about it at all.
Yeah, I mean, obviously a lot of the Walter boys and the crux of the show, like there's so much drama and inner tension of like,
Mhm.
identities and all sorts of themes that we see within the series. And your character is like, I'm here, I know who I am, I know what I want,
Absolutely,
I'm
yeah.
going after what I'm looking at, or what I'm fixed on.
Totally, yeah. And there's a lot
So,
of mystery to that, I think. Just not knowing how he reached that place until later on in the show is it's interesting.
okay, that's a good tease. The show is really, really beautifully shot, and the incredible team that's behind it with the production and every
Yeah.
aspect and detail is absolutely remarkable. I'm a huge fan of getting to watch so much of the scenery as much as I'm watching, like, obviously the drama and
Mhm.
all the character dynamics and developments. What
Beautiful, yeah.
really has impressed you the most about this collaborative team for the series?
Oh man, I truly love everyone on the cast. First of all, I mean they were already such a deeply ingrained family when I came on for season two, and they were so welcoming to all the new members joining for this season. The cast is just lovely. As far as the actual operations of the show, the crew is efficient and really remarkable in how they can capture all of the most interesting little details of whatever space we're filming in. Stuff I would normally just gloss over because I don't have an eye for that at all. But our cinematographer and all the directors that were on for the various episodes were really great about finding interesting, unique ways to showcase character through certain shots.
Yeah, I love the nuances that the series brings with the different lens where we're, like, maybe this is a Nathan focused episode, or this
Mhm.
is a, other, like this is this character, this is, this is this
Yeah,
direction. Because there's so many, I mean, the cast is, it's really
it's
big.
massive. This season especially, it's huge.
Yes, it grew even bigger.
Oh yeah.
So, if you're watching, you can also that also helps you to relate to watching the story too, because maybe you are this character, maybe you are this character, maybe you see some of yourself in someone
Uh-huh.
else, or you're empathizing with someone while you're struggling with something else someone else is doing.
Yeah,
And that's the
totally.
great like lens that it offers when you get those nuances because the cinematography this is such a beautiful landscape because where it's shot, of course, the location.
Absolutely. We film it up in Calgary and it's just stunning. Everywhere you look, you kind of feel like you're in a fantasy world. It's insane.
I mean, quite often also the scenery and the location of a series and a film too can sort of play its own kind of character, and I feel like that has
Yeah.
an offering in a way in the lens of things with My Life with a Walter Boys just as much as well. And we talked a little bit about it, but kind of what was it like for you, shooting in this beautiful kind of remote Calgary landscape?
I'd never been to Calgary before. I showed up. The one thing I regret is that I showed up on set a week after the Stampede happened, and I really wanted to check out the Calgary Stampede, but I just missed it, so I'm gonna have to go back another year at some point. But it's a beautiful city. Just 2 hours outside of the city is Banff, which I'd never seen before. So I did a couple road trips out to there, and honestly, I fell in love with the place. It's stunning.
I mean, the animals and the scenery and the forestry and everything
Yeah, it's
about it. I
beautiful.
mean, like it really adds a different layer and a wonderful dynamic to this series because you get lost in these stories that are being told, but you can also get lost in the view that you're seeing just as much.
100%. Yeah, it's part I think the location is such an integral part of what makes the show work as well as it does. Is we all understand why the town is so special and why they all want to keep it as this unique experience for all the people that live there and not opening it up too much to the world. And I understand that.
We also touched on a little bit already that, your character, he is quite confident and
Yeah.
charming. And we see that he gets to know Nathan a little bit this season. What is it about Nathan that really connects to Zach or that really kind of maybe intrigues him?
I think Nathan is a perfect foil to Zach this season because uh, Zach definitely comes in as someone who screams confidence, but also just the knowing of oneself, which is something I don't think Nathan has had a lot of time to consider or deal with as a character. And so seeing that can be a really enticing idea sometimes, like a romanticized concept almost of what it must be like for someone who is that is self-assured. And there's definitely like stuff that falls between the cracks as the show goes on, but I think that ability to just own what he is and not be ashamed about it is probably something that Nathan finds really interesting in Zach, I'd say.
Yeah, I was just gonna say, like, it's such an admirable quality. I mean, there's
Totally, yeah.
not that many people at such a young age who could say, like, I know
Sure.
who I am because it's such a
Mhm.
formative, these are such formative years that most of the teen-based dramas, we get, they're like,
Oh yeah, I
trying
wasn't
to
like that
figure
at all in high school.
out. Yeah, so it's nice to have the opposite where this character is so confident and has gone through that process already and kind of come out on the other side, whereas Nathan, as we saw in season one, has sort of been learning and developing and growing and kind of trying out and learning
Totally, yeah.
and all the stuff that you're supposed to do,
For
at that
sure,
age.
yeah. Exploring, seeing what works in his life, what doesn't, who he wants to be, all that interesting stuff. And all that to say, I mean, I don't want to say that Zach is perfect in any way because he's definitely not, but he definitely presents himself in a way that seems like he's just a finished product already of a human being, which is definitely alluring at first, I think, but can definitely change over the course of a season.
I mean, I was gonna say what are Zach's intentions towards Nathan, but we will come to see soon because it is the day of the show.
Absolutely, yeah.
If you get a chance to binge, not necessarily to the day of the show, but
Hmm.
I love that there's always some different underlying layer that we get to
100%.
see that's always lurking at the
Oh,
same time
absolutely.
too. That's what's fun about watching is because not only are you obviously watching these stories that are being told develop, you're watching these characters develop as these stories are unfolding. So
Yeah.
well, like you said, Zach may present himself one way. You later on in the season, sort of, I guess, as you were saying, not to spoil, but we may start to get these little underlying bits and pieces that kind of
Absolutely, yeah.
come from
There was
underneath.
before every episode, I would be on the phone with Melanie, our showrunner, and she'd be giving me new secrets and intentions to work with for the next block that we were filming. So it was a lot of fun to kind of see the whole mystery unravel as we went along.
Well, you get to work a lot with opposite, like we're talking about with the character Nathan, who's played by Corey Fogelmanis. What kind of friendship and relationships, which you sort of a little bit touched on too before, did you kind of form off screen as well? These any kind of bonds and friendships that you've gotten to
Oh
make
man,
just as
yeah.
much as well?
Totally. I didn't know anyone on the cast going into the show other than a friend of mine, Colton Stewart. He's incredible, and we worked on a different TV show together a few years back. And having him kind of bring me into the fold was really nice. But uh, I mean, as I was saying earlier, the cast is lovely and extremely warm and welcoming. Corey and Jalen, I had most of my scenes with, and so I feel like I got to know them the best, I'd say, over the course of filming. But they're both just such lovely humans. I mean, over the course of a summer filming in Calgary, I really got to know them, and they're just the coolest individuals. I have only great things to say about both of them.
I did some Instagram looking and lurking
Totally, yeah,
earlier because I love when we get to finally get to see the behind the scenes of
absolutely,
things,
yeah.
and I know that you shared some stuff on your Instagram, and of course other members of the cast are starting to share some of their items that they
Totally, yeah.
can through Instagram. Was wondering, will you be sharing like any more socially, and what kind of did you maybe explore anything of this set otherwise besides I know you're talking about working more with Corey and Jalen,
Mhm.
but did you get a chance to kind of look around this wide set?
Actually, there is some really cool stuff from Zach. Zach is the school photographer during the course of the show, and so he's always got a camera in his hands for a lot of the scenes. And that camera actually worked. So I have a bunch of cool BTS photos that I might be able to share at some point of all the other cast members as well. It was fun to use during the scenes.
Yeah, I actually was part of the journalism department when I was in high school, so
Oh, cool.
to keep track of all the fun things that go on or
Mhm.
even the nuances of just everyday high school life is so interesting. So
Oh,
seeing it through
100%.
that lens, through the other lens, must have been really cool for you too.
Yeah, it felt like a good device for the character as well, because he is very observant throughout the show, and that feels really important to what ends up happening later on. And so I loved the camera. It was a great little tool to use as a lens for who Zach is.
We talked a little bit about this incredible writing and production behind My Life with the Walter Boys, but in your opinion, what do you think it is about the series that really continues to connect so many people in so many ways, in so many different ages?
Yeah, absolutely. I think the empathy and love that everyone pours into the show, it just every time I watch it, it kind of feels like just taking a second to breathe for the first time in a while. Uh, just the scenery, the way the characters are all intertwined. Who doesn't love a good love triangle? It kind of has all the elements that just makes the entire show feel like a nice warm hug for the viewers.
Yeah, it's got this great like tug to it where you again feel so connected to each character and you can again relate to someone in some way or
Yeah,
someone in your life that was like this or maybe you would again admire one of the characters and you learn something from something while they're learning about
absolutely.
something.
Yeah.
There's like a lesson in any in all of these things that
Mhm.
it's such a beautiful series that it's just again so layered and you take away a lesson from here, you take a lesson from here, or you relate to this, or you find something, some nuance or some string that kind of
Totally. Yeah.
something to yourself.
Hmm.
I love those type of shows. I've watched, I'm not sure if you're familiar, but like the show Sweet Magnolias, which is also another
Oh yeah.
Netflix series,
Hmm.
and I sort of
I
feel
haven't
like it has
watched it,
that
but I know
home
about it.
comforting, you know one of these characters or you wish you knew one of these characters.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah, like in the first season of My Life with the Wildboarders, they sort of went to the Stampede, and you're saying, like
Oh yeah.
you didn't get to go
That
this.
must have been so much fun to film. I forgot to ask them about that on set, but that must have been amazing to film.
So, like, you wish, you could celebrate Christmas with this family, or you wish like you had.
Oh yeah. We all, and I feel like we all know people on the show that kind of reflect people that we know in real life. It's really great at making everyone feel seen. And I think that's important for a show like this.
Yes, it's very relevant, and with all the things in the wide world that are happening right now, and
Hmm.
especially so much heaviness that's going on, again with like high school and teaching and being a student and just growing up nowadays in general altogether.
Yeah,
It's a different it's a different landscape for sure than when I was in high school, which is not something I'm
totally.
going to
Yeah.
remember what
Yeah.
when that was, but
Not something you want to go back to.
but again, I've been through certain things, and everybody kind of transcends the time of things. You relate to somebody, someone you had that experience, or someone who had that kind of struggle, whether you're 40 or 14 or
Absolutely. Yeah. It's very universal.
exactly. Well, just my last question is, what you kind of have really taken away so far from your experiences being a part of this series, and maybe is there a pathway or breadcrumbs, something that we might be able to see your character Zach in the next season?
Well, I will say that Zach's storyline is it's a jump to the system for a lot of the characters. We'll have to see where it leads further on, but um, other than that, in terms of response from just being on the show so far, I the show has literally been out for a few hours, I
Like,
guess, or like 12 hours, I think, as of the time of recording this, and already I'm getting such great love and kind comments from the fan base, and it's nice to hear. It's cool to see everyone enjoying it, and I really appreciate it.
will you be then doing something special tonight, or do you have any plans, at least with your
No
family to
plans.
watch, or?
Making my way through the show. I think I'm on episode 3 or 4 right now, but yeah, just making my way through the show. It's cool seeing all my friends act. I love watching them on the screen. They're all great.
It's gotta be like really rewarding and fun for you too, because if you're not like a
Mhm.
part of certain scene, or you were a part of this but you didn't full like, or you wish were
It kind of feels like I'm watching it along with everyone else because I'm not on set for most of the stuff that I'm not a part of. So it was, yeah, it's cool seeing them all do their thing. Everyone's killing it. It's awesome.
well, I would say the same for you too. So don't forget to make sure when you're pointing a finger at someone else that you're pointing the other one right back at yourself.
Sounds good. Thank you. I appreciate that.
You're welcome. Well, thank you so much for your time. I'm gonna